This is my 1965 Polaris Snow Traveler Super Pacer product I've been working on. The whole bottom of it was rusted out, pretty much gone. It was just going to the scrap yard. And the engine was missing off of it. The transmission had sat full of water forever. Everything was pitted. Absolutely destroyed inside it, so there's really no using it. Clutch was completely frozen. Nothing would come apart. So I decided to do a retrofit. Obviously this won't have reverse, but it'll be something. I was going for usability instead of, originality. This would have had an 8 horse on it originally, but I've gone and gotten a Predator 420cc. I ordered this torque converter plate off of eBay. I'm not gonna name the guy, but I mean, it's all right. If you look, I had to shave down the one oil cap because the gusset was in the wrong spot. And we've got all these mounting holes, but really only 1 or 2 of them are actually usable, unless you spin the thing around and use it backwards. I got my secondary clutch, I got my Comet primary. I've got a little rotor and a caliper for the brakes. And then our output shaft there is just going to run a 40 chain back here. It's obviously got to be lined up and stuff still, but that's all just kind of sitting there. Nothing's bolted up yet. I've still got to get the plate mounted for the engine and get it welded up and stuff. Go through and paint all this, and then put the runners on the bottom here. These are actually wood. So I got a little bit to do yet on this before it's ready to go, but it's came a long way from where it was, that's for sure, and I think it'll actually see snow this year. So working on the 65 Polaris again. I've got everything off it now because I'm about ready to paint this. Not quite ready on the front half though. I've still got to do a little bit more Bondo before I'm happy with it, but still a lot better than it was. I've got all my new runners made up. They're ready to drill and bolt on once I get the bottom half painted. I also got my seat back cushion made up. I just made these out of stuff I had laying around the shop. Back here I got the skis, the track, ready to go. And on there on the Evinrude we've got the windshield to it, ready to go. All new chain, new sprocket for the idler going down to the track. And I've also got the original sprocket guard. It's in pretty rough shape too. It's got the one mount busted right off of it, but that would sit like so. Let's see if I can clean that up also, make it look a little better. Get the skid painted here, the rear power portion. Got the engine on, got the engine mount made. Got the track bolted on. All the new runners. Turned out pretty good, rolls nice. Got the bearings all oiled up. I don't have any wood inserts, I'm not doing that. It'll be just fine like that. But it's come a long way, getting closer. Now I just gotta work on the front half. I tried putting the shaft through, but learned a valuable lesson, and paint and close tolerances don't mix, so I ended up wasting the one pillow block in the shaft, so I gotta get a new one of those. But secondary shafts on there, good to go. We got the primary clutch on there, a little exhaust. So all in all, it's looking good. As far as the rest of it goes, it's on round 3 of Bondo to get any remaining little air voids that came about in the first 2 rounds, and fix any little pinholes that I missed the first time, or little itty bitty dents that I couldn't live with. But as you can see, the thing is full of dents, so whatever. But overall, it's coming along. Getting closer. Now that the Polaris is most of the way done, I just kind of want to do an overview on some of the parts that I used, just to show that it is possible to bring something like this back. Obviously, some stuff is going to be a lot easier to find than others, but let's take a look. Trunk lid and the windshield, the rubber trim I just ordered off of eBay. It's just window trim. And the plexiglass I got at Menards. I got the 3M reflective decals. These were from sledprinter.com. They make decals for a lot more than just sleds, but pretty much any sled that you could possibly imagine, they have the decals for. That's pretty cool. The little locking wings for the windshield, ordered those right off of Amazon. The handlebar grips, these were the same 7/8 style tube that like a Schwinn bicycle uses. So I ordered some bicycle hand grips for it. That's a Mr. Gasket hot foot accelerator pedal that I ordered off of Amazon. Control cables and brake cable are 33C universal marine control cables with the small like Yamaha ends on them. The seat is just leather from a 2010 Dodge truck and some random pieces of foam and plywood I had. The actual brake here, actually you can see how pitted this steel was. I just left it alone, but the brake here has just a cable end, a shoulder bolt on it, and a spring. It's not as hard as you think to put one of these back together. Obviously having a welder and a little bit of Bondo skill makes it easier. This would not have gone as well without it because it was completely rotted. But I just wanted to show, just from a parts aspect, that it is possible to put this thing back together. And a lot of times with another machine, you can do the same thing or make it work. All the hardware and everything else could just be gotten at a hardware store. For the tarp material that goes in the track, I used boat cover canvas and I riveted it on with 1/4-inch rivets. And then I used red oak for the sliders up top. And I did oil them with some motor oil. I don't know if that's a good idea, but I figured it'd somewhat keep the rot out of there for the time being, because if I stain them or anything, it's just gonna grind it right off, so what's the point? Back here, this is just standard 50 roller chain that I got off eBay. I got that idler gear off of eBay. The sprocket up here from eBay. These are just 50 chain sprockets. I wanna say these were 14 or 13 tooth. A 1-inch shaft, which if you have the original transmission to this sled, it's the same transmission that a Coot all-terrain vehicle from the same time period uses. Comet 40 series clutches, I ordered those from WPS. Belt clip and belts, all that stuff, WPS. The adapter for the exhaust I got from Amazon. It was like 12 bucks. And then I just bought some black pipe from Menards and a rain cap from TSC. This brake caliper kit I got off of eBay. The adapter torque converter plate I got off of eBay. Some modification required. The 420cc Predator I bought at Harbor Freight. Both the sprockets and all the spacers and the pillow blocks, all that stuff came from eBay. Super standard stuff, nothing crazy brand specific. 40 roller chain for the double chain there. And then the engine mount was just a plate from eBay that I welded some angle iron on from Tractor Supply, and it made an engine mount for it. The springs also came from Tractor Supply for the suspension. They usually have a couple links of chain in it, but who cares?